Welcome to another episode of Hip Hop Originals, boy. Another banger. Today we have Pico Rivera with our people, our gente, our raza. Not just that, everybody's here showing up love. And but today we got two special guests, Ridaz.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna let him do the talk, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's up? I'm the only one second to none, those.
Yo, what it do? This is Zigzag, a.k.a. Zig Hefner. So I just want to say Ridaz is in the building, y'all. Pico Rivera, thank you for having us.
All right, so cool. So this is Hip Hop Originals, right? So we interview the old school legends.
All right.
We don't want hip hop to die, so we're bringing it back, and it's a blessing that you guys are here. How do you guys see hip hop now? Since you guys being like you guys there, like I mean, you guys were there since the get-go. How do you guys see hip hop moving towards?
Watching the hip hop genre change over the years. I mean, me and those, we're a little older now, so watching hip hop at its birth and watching where it is now, I mean, there's so many there's good and bad. I think the good thing about it is there's still chances out there for youngsters to make something of themselves instead of the streets. I just think the streets is just too much into hip hop right now. A lot of these youngsters getting locked up for the things they say, and I think we need to start thinking about the message again. Hip hop had a message back in the days. I think this new generation is losing that a little bit.
They got the wrong concept already.
Yes.
Felt like the message was kind of taken and abused. The nowadays generation kind of abused the message with their words through the music because the diss tracks, all the diss tracks and stuff that they have. Yeah, so
I mean, music has gotten better because of the production, the quality of music. I just believe, like I said, it's just the message is missing. A lot of these artists that have a platform that are still promoting, the gangbang and shooting each other, all that other extra shit. It just, to me, that's not hip hop.
On that note, what made you guys, instead of making like gangbanging music, what made you guys do this music for the ladies, this different genre? Because to me, Ridaz is a genre, bro. Ain't nobody making some music like Ridaz, bro. To me, they're a genre, bro. So what made you guys do that, or how you guys got pushed to doing it?
It's not that we never did it. We did a lot of street stuff. That's how we grew up. But what happened is daring yourself to be different. Because there's us, and there's 1,000 in line that are waiting to make it too.
Right.
Now, what am I gonna do is gonna sound different from the guy who's gonna drop an album tomorrow. If you don't have that it factor, you're gonna stay in line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna go nowhere. Remember today we talked about, even you go around, well, I'm nobody else because I'm a local artist and I'm local. I'm ready to give you. Well, don't say you're local.
Right.
You're just an artist. People will respect you more. You say you're local, they're gonna treat you that way.
You're gonna have this little crowd, right?
Yep. And that's as far as you're gonna go.
That's all you're gonna get. Yeah.
But you gotta be there to be different. What Ridaz did is that we went and said stuff that we can't cuss in this, right? Oh, we can? We went into this going into like we're not doing these guys write all this pussy shit and all this fake and girls. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, 98% of our fans at the concert sold out. 90% were girls. The rest were the boyfriends bringing. Where was that? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what's crazy? In the beginning, a lot of fellas didn't understand the formula. They were just like, they're on that old girl shit. But when you really listen to the words and you listen to what we were saying, a lot of it was stuff that the normal homie couldn't say to his chick because he couldn't comprehend that, or he couldn't say it maybe in a certain way.
Right.
And we were able to say that in order for him to, because I've met people that have come out of prison
in a hip hop fashion way.
Yeah, prison.
I love that,
people that have come out of prison 20 years.
Yeah, a lot of cats from prison.
20 years, right?
Yeah.
And they come out and they say, thank you for the music you guys wrote, because this is what kept me and my lady together. I wasn't able to write this. I wasn't able to write this in the letters, homie. So your guys' music was, this is how I feel, babe. And we weren't afraid to expose ourselves. See, the thing is I think the normal rapper is afraid to expose his real self. That's why there's egos. That's why there's a lot of chains. That's why there's a lot of the tattoos. They're so self-conscious that they don't want to be the real themselves. We weren't afraid to be ourselves, especially on records that meant something, like Pretty Girl, Runaway. These songs were not normal hip hop. it's almost like a not manufactured, but a blend of R&B, rap, but yet it was poetry. It was love. There was something in there.
Speaking about Pretty Girl, how do you guys came up with Pretty Girl?
The record was originally a homie named Diablo.
Okay.
Out of San Diego. He did a record
I know
called
Diablo,
Something.
the Spanish rapper?
He did a
hell
record called Something About You.
Okay.
And if you listen to it, it's almost like Pretty Girl, but it has horns. It has certain things in there that Pretty Girl didn't.
Different
And
instruments.
I had Little Rob on it, actually. Little Rob was on
Oh,
Yeah.
Lil Rob.
it. Yeah.
And then you guys put that funk stuff like I know
And so I think what
Right.
happened was the other member, Marco, he was able to talk to Diablo and say, hey, you know what, man, I think this record's dope. You know, you mind if we use it for our record?
Right.
Because, you know, when you start out a record, you don't know if it's going to be a hit.
Right.
Yeah.
So we didn't know. We
It's
just
just
said,
an idea,
yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
And I think the vibe was just there. It was perfect. It had that summertime vibe. It had that real pretty lyrics for the ladies to make them feel good. Let me say, because if you can make a woman feel good, you can sell a record. That's what it's all about. That's why Pac was probably one of the most brilliant rappers to ever say, do it for the ladies, the fellas will come. And that's what happened with us. We did it for the ladies, and all of a sudden now we have fans that are fellas that are telling us, hey, bro, I grew up to you. I listened to your music. You guys are legends. I mean, all that's icing on the cake. I love it. Thank you.
Hey, let me tell you a dope story about that, too. When Runaway was out, it was in, was it Odessa?
Arkansas. No, it's Arkansas.
No, Odessa or Amarillo. One of those
yeah,
small
yeah.
cities, Texas. And at that time, it made the countdown. It was number one at the time. And that station had Nelly there to visit. So
Yeah, they had
Nelly
an
was
interview
there.
with Nelly.
And when they were interviewing him, Runner was playing. When he was playing, he's like, hey, who's that? Who's this? And it was us. He's like, oh man, that's pretty dope. After that, guess what? He went home. Guess what came out? Dilemma. So we opened doors. Even though they're not going to say, hey, but the DJ still
But because if you really recognize the time and era,
It was
we
about
were
that
doing those
time.
records before Ashanti and Ja Rule
Oh, yeah.
and them cats. I mean, even the homie Mike Jones, he did a record, and he even said it out himself. I wanted your Latin market. I see this is Latin rap, and so they started labeling it a certain way, and I think that's where they jacked it all up. They
So that's how they reach out to you for the land rap, right?
yeah.
That's
Hey,
great.
While we still stuck on the Pretty Girl song subject, I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, but I stay out in Arizona. I've been out there for a couple of years now.
Wow, okay.
I moved out there back in like 2013.
All right.
No, about 2008. My bad, 2008. And it's crazy. Like the Pretty Girl song was one of the songs I actually heard, like a brand new sound that I heard and come to Arizona because I grew up listening to like East Side, like Tupac,
You're like,
Biggie.
what shit is this? Where this come from?
Yeah. So when I heard that, I was like, damn, like, and it's crazy that y'all said people ain't fuck with it. Because I honestly fuck with that song, and I was 13 fucking with that shit.
I think
and I
the-
still fuck with that song to this day. Like, I go back and play that shit right now. Like,
If you think about it, like in New York, we're
Yeah.
considered underground
yeah.
because we never got radio play. East Coast, we didn't, but everything was
Damn.
underground.
What's crazy is we have like a cult underground following.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you know us, then you know us.
Yeah, yeah.
And the one thing that I've noticed about our group is a lot of people didn't know what to put the face to.
Yeah.
They were like, there's not a lot of videos of these guys, there's not a lot of this, but their music is dope. Now, there was one member who kind of wanted to take it all from the group and say, I did it all. But when you really listen to the records, it's not like that. There's three voices on there, has three different lives, has three different stories, has three different people's different
Three different
perspectives.
souls.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's what we wanted to do. That's why we're out again. We're out there showing people, hey, we're those other guys that maybe you forgot about. Now you could put the faces to the verses. Now you could put faces to the music.
So, bro, me being Latino growing up, like I used to watch BET, right, and listen to the radio, and all I heard was like hip hop, just like Americans, African Americans.
Yeah.
But once I heard Ambi Ridaz on the radio, I was like, wow, people have made it finally to like, you know what I'm saying, to the radio. So how do you guys get to that level to be in the radio? Who got you guys to be?
Honestly, our label at the time, Upstairs Records, Joe Lopez, the vice president, she had a very, very good rapport with radio. So it's all about relationships, you know, and plus it takes a lot of them believing in the record, and that's what the stations did. They believed in the records. You know, it took a little bit of you know, getting to know the stations, us doing free shows. We had to do, you know, promo.
Put in work.
Yeah, we had to put in our work, brother, in order for this to get where we're at now. You know, we're that story of early beginning success, and then there's the chaos that all groups go through, and then us getting back together and really conquering and understanding what the real business of what we understand now. You know.
All right, so you got all this upcoming artists. What is your message to them?
Be different. Be original.
You gotta be different, man. You gotta be different. You gotta be there to be different.
When you
Think
say-
outside the box. Don't just stay in there. There's a lot of people out looking in what you're doing. And if you have that little different, whether it be like Eminem's different, now you got Machine Gun Kelly that sounds like him, or you got Yellow.
Well, a lot of rappers sound the same now.
Yeah, so you got a lot of that. You can find them everywhere. There's
And
a
they
lot
almost
of dope
look
rappers.
the same. It's weird.
And there's a lot of dope rappers right now. There really is.
Yeah.
But they sound just like the other one. Tell me something that other dude ain't telling you.
They sound like NBA YoungBoy.
You feel me? So that's kind of like you gotta be different somehow.
Yeah,
You gotta
definitely.
be different somehow. And
That-
if you don't have that, you're wasting your money.
That's
you're
what
wasting your
drew
time.
my attention to that song, that it was so different. And then I started hearing like other songs by y'all once I put the face, like you said.
And one thing you
Oh,
can't
shit,
do is
like-
doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Because once you doubt yourself, you're done. Because it's almost like the audience, the people that are seeing you, they can smell that you're scared. They can smell that you're not ready.
Smell the fear.
That's what separates the greats from the rest of them. The greats know how to turn it on. Know how to, okay, it's time. What you're going to see tonight from us is years and years and years of us practicing on stage and learning how to do it right instead of, you know what I'm saying?
People are going, motherfucker that. And they're like, what?
10 motherfuckers on stage.
Yeah.
It just don't work like
They
that.
just want to hear the song that they fell in love with.
So how do you guys deal when you guys are on the stage? What is your process?
That's like home, bro. That's like
Well, we
home.
gotta pray first. Gotta give thanks to the man up above. Give thanks, you know,
Absolutely.
for us still being here.
After 25 years, man.
Second,
We got,
it's
three-
a lot
three
to prove.
generations.
It's
We
a
got
lot
three
to prove.
generations not coming to see us.
25.
Moms, their daughters, now their daughters, their kids.
How does it
That's
feel to still be together for so long?
It's a blessing, man.
Alright.
I tell a lot of people, you know how many people come up to us? Oh, we're the next big thing. We're gonna blow up. We're like, yeah.
Cool.
All right, man.
And you know what? And we support them because we're
Yeah,
never
yeah,
those
yeah.
artists that we think we're above people. If anything, we want to give them the advice to go further if that's where they're gonna go. But have a message. That's what we say. You know, have a message. Say something to these
I really
kids.
want to invite you guys to watch our show because we're known for slow tracks. Watch how we do it. And there's slow songs, but look how we transform it to be a hype show.
Yeah.
There's a way to do things, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
the way you conduct yourself.
Yeah.
It's almost taking them through a roller coaster of emotions. We're gonna hit them first with the stuff they're like, okay, I remember that, and then all of a sudden we're just gonna drop something that's like so popular on them. Then we just work it because it's all about working the crowd. It's a strategic plan when we put this show tape together. It's not let's just do our hits, homie. No, let's fuck with the crowd a little bit. Let's talk to them. Let's see what they talking about. Let's tell them about ourselves. Let's tell them, hey, you know, thank you for being there for us for all the times that, you know, we weren't around. Because that's what kept us alive, bro. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have the resources that artists have now to stay irrelevant. But what we did have was music. And the music is what kept the machine going.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing to do. Rolling Stones and fucking these bands that play forever and ever, that's MB Riders.
And even with all this, with them saying all that, if,
So how do you-
if it wasn't for you guys, even right now, we wouldn't be here.
yeah.
You're interested in our story. That's dope.
Yeah,
Today,
yeah.
I didn't want to come. They call me first thing in the morning, my mom's going to die already. I don't want to be here. But I owe it to them. If it wasn't for you guys, them, I wouldn't be able to. My mindset, I came here for you guys. You feel me? We have a job to do.
So you're giving back to what people gave you pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You still represent.
You guys come first.
Because a lot of times we have to forget about personal stuff that's going on our life because we understand that the fans paid for a ticket, they paid for an experience, and if we were to just say, hey, I know they would understand, but it's almost like some of them would. I don't want to say they'd hold it against us, but it's almost like you let us down already a little bit, and that's the one thing we never want to do with our fans is let them down.
What's dope is also, before your question,
Do you feel like some fans should understand more, like that you got those personal issues?
they do because we share it with you.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
they're like, oh damn, why are you
Like,
here?
damn, that's why
I
he
just
missed
feel
that
like,
show.
man, I'm sorry about my son when he passed away.
Yeah.
I went through a drought and I didn't want to do none of this.
Yeah.
And we share that with them, like, oh man.
That's cool.
Yeah. Today, we always go live before a show. We'll be at Pico Rivera today. We'll see everybody. A chick hit me up. I flew in from North Carolina. We've never been there.
North
Just to come
Carolina.
see you guys. And
Over
I'm
here?
yeah. So she's here somewhere. Because I flew with her. I'm so excited just to come see you guys. I go, nobody, you guys don't go over there. So I'm
Damn.
flying up from over there.
Damn.
I think the stories that these fans have to our music is crazy, bro. There's some crazy stories out there that the fans have told us. One time we came out to LA and we did a club called Camachos. I don't know if it's still popular out here. It was a while back.
Right.
We did 3 shows in one weekend. Each show was at the same place, but different audience. Okay, one night, this woman came out, shook all our hands. She got to the end of the table, and she hung on to my fucking hand for the longest time. And she wasn't saying nothing. I'm like, you good? You good? Like, she just kept looking at me like, and I was like, this is the first time I felt this, bro. Then she started crying, brother, like crying hysterically almost to where I was just like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? She's like, you don't understand. My daughters loved you. I was like, oh, wow. I was, are your daughters here? So we can say hi, take a picture? She said, no, they died in a car crash accident.
We get a lot of that too. But
And you were their
I'm here
favorite
because-
group.
Yeah.
I came tonight to celebrate them. And she goes, you know what? And I know they were listening to you when they died. She goes, it might sound weird to you, but I know they were listening to you. So that right there, it put me in a whole different, I'm not just a rap artist anymore. It made me feel like a superhero almost, bro.
Right.
I made this lady feel good or our group did, our music,
Right.
for a few seconds.
So the group is important to people's lives.
Yes, and we didn't know that, bro.
How does it feel to know that you're able to touch fans that way in that way?
Oh, glory to God, man. You can't even express or compare it.
Yeah.
Because not every artist has that. Honestly, there's a lot of artists that have songs that are cool to play. They play them, at a club. They'll play them, at a party. They'll play them, whatever. But for some reason, they just love the shit out of this. We wrote in a notebook just like everybody else, or our phone or whatever it be. Freestyle some of the shit, but
In the kitchen. And just to come and everybody singing. Sometimes we don't even have to do any songs. They sing them. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
When you can touch somebody like that,
Yeah.
you got something special.
yeah, you just put the mic down.
You just go like this with
Yeah.
that shit.
But you know what? We want to be remembered in this hip hop culture,
Right.
Because of the fact that we were not the ordinary group. Where our story is a Cinderella
Did you guys talk to
story.
that cat that was all painted?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw him right now. He goes, "You're MB Writers? I used to listen to your shit, man." He goes, "Let's collaborate." And we're in 2 different worlds. I go, "I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna tell you, no, look for me. And you didn't think that he'd be listening to us. He was
Dang.
doing tracks like he's about to kill somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's all love, man. Just what I'm saying. I grew up on your shit. I listened to your shit. Let's work together.
I think I'll be honest. I think if MB Riders would have continued on before the hiatus, because around 2006, 2007 is when everything started kind of separating. Okay, then around 2008, 2009, there's no more rider. We weren't performing. We weren't really doing too much anymore. I think during that time, that's what kept the group still where people were like, I want more of them, but they didn't give that to me. So us coming back, I think was perfect. You know what I'm saying? It was perfect timing.
Right.
To where I think if we would have stayed continuing on, people would have got tired of us. I know.
Yeah.
I already know.
I know what you're saying.
And then it might have not been where we're at and going now.
So you guys waiting for the right time, which is right now. I see a lot of Latino culture going up. Like it's getting more. What do you call that? More notice. You know what I mean? So I think it's the right
and to
time.
new audiences.
Yeah.
New audiences, it's a new audience, and
So how do you feel when people feel touched by your music?
you know, I just feel like we just did our job, man. We did our job of what we wanted to accomplish.
There you go.
You know, and like I said, something that not that many people do. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a good legacy to leave your kids, because at the end they're like, my daddy's like my son. He tells all his friends, "Oh, my dad's a famous rapper," and they're like, "Oh, for real?" And then some of those kids know my music, so they're like, "That's your dad?"
Yeah, they go ask their dad.
And
like,
he's
"Hey,
a, yeah,
you know what
and
I'm
he's a
saying?"
7-year-old boy. So that made me proud to say my legacy is something that my son brags about, and it's not something that I'm like, oh man, all I do is talk about killing people or talk about vulgar shit, you know?
Right.
No, man, my son hears what my music did, and hopefully that's what he wants to do, you know? Because everybody has their voice, and they got their story they want to tell. Some want to tell that story of the gangster life and the bullshit. But I'll be honest, it's
Are we next?
it's a vibe. I don't know. I know we're coming soon though.
I know next out here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap it up real quick. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So last thing, but not last but not least, what projects are coming up from MB Writers?
We are working on a new project. It's just we're trying to get the right producers, the right singers. This has to be a special album, man, right? Because
They haven't heard from us for a minute.
and they want to hear what they heard back there.
Yes.
So
But we do have projects out right now. My boy Los has a solo album. I have a solo album out. It's just like just to keep it going, you know. But right now we're working on a brand new album, and I promise it's gonna be something special.
There you go. You heard it, man. So last but not least, man, can we get a shout out for Hip Hop Originals?
Yes.
Yeah, please. But hey, big shout out to my boy over here because he was somebody this morning, and I was like, yeah, I'll come here. And I just got here right
Hip
now.
Hop Originals.
But follow us on The Real MB Writers on Facebook, The Real MB Writers on Instagram, those of MB Writers on TikTok, or on all social platforms.
Zigzag _ MB Riders Instagram. But like I said, make sure you tune in. Hip hop. You already know what it is. Originals.
Yeah.